I've been working on Subarus exclusively for over 15 years, and in that time, I've seen the same 7 failures over and over again. Different owners, different models, different years, but always the same problems. Last week alone, I diagnosed 5 Subarus with issues from this exact list. The frustrating part? Every single failure was completely preventable. The owners just didn't know what to watch for or how to maintain these specific systems. Here's what makes me angry. Dealerships know about these failures. They see them constantly, but rarely educate owners on prevention. There's more money in fixing problems than preventing them. Today, I'm exposing the top 7 Subaru failures that happen most frequently. More importantly, I'm telling you exactly why they happen and how to avoid them. This isn't generic advice. These are specific maintenance actions that prevent expensive repairs. Keep watching, because knowing these 7 failures could save you thousands in the next few years. Let's get into what actually breaks on Subarus and how to stop it. Failure number 1. Head gasket leaks on EJ25 engines. This is the most famous Subaru failure, and for good reason. Head gasket leaks affected 2006 to 2011 models with 2.5-liter EJ25 engines most severely. Forester, Outback, Legacy, and Impreza all experienced this problem. I've replaced hundreds of these head gaskets in my career. Why it happens? Subaru used composite material head gaskets during these years. The material degraded from heat cycling and coolant chemistry. The boxer engine design creates more stress on head gaskets than inline engines. Horizontal cylinders mean gaskets fight gravity and pressure simultaneously. Old coolant becomes acidic and attacks the gasket material. This accelerates deterioration and causes external seepage. How to spot it early. White crusty residue around the head gasket seam on the engine block. Even after cleaning, dried coolant leaves telltale white deposits. Sweet coolant smell after driving, especially noticeable when parking. Mysterious coolant loss with no visible leaks on the ground. The overflow reservoir level drops consistently over weeks. Oil residue on the outside of the engine block near the heads. Pressure from combustion gases forces oil past the failing gasket. How to prevent or delay it. Change coolant every 30,000 miles or 3 years without exception. Fresh coolant maintains proper pH and protects gasket material. Use only Subaru Super Coolant or exact equivalent. Generic coolants have different chemical properties that accelerate failure. Consider preventive head gasket replacement at 100,000 miles on 2006 to 2011 models. Use updated multi-layer steel gaskets, not original composite ones. Cost: $2,000 to $3,000 for preventive replacement versus $3,500 to $5,000 after failure damages other components. Monitor coolant level monthly and address any loss immediately. Catching external leaks early prevents internal damage. The reality is, head gasket issues are manageable with proper maintenance and early intervention. Failure number 2. CVT transmission problems. CVT. Failures are the second most expensive issue I see. These transmissions either last forever or fail catastrophically. The difference is entirely maintenance-based. Why it happens? Subaru markets CVT fluid as lifetime, which owners interpret as never needing service. The fluid breaks down from heat and friction after 60,000 to 80,000 miles. Metal particles from belt and pulley wear accumulate in the fluid. These particles clog valves and damage hydraulic components. Contaminated fluid loses its ability to create proper friction. The CVT starts shuddering, slipping, and eventually fails completely. High operating temperatures accelerate fluid breakdown. Towing, mountain driving, and hot climates stress CVTs significantly. How to spot problems developing. Shuddering or vibration during acceleration, especially from 20 to 40 miles per hour. This indicates the belt is slipping due to contaminated fluid. Delayed engagement when shifting from park to drive. Whining or grinding noises that increase with vehicle speed. These sounds indicate bearing or belt wear inside the CVT. Check engine light with transmission-related codes like P0841 or P0842. How to prevent CVT failure. Change CVT fluid every 30,000 miles regardless of what the manual says. This is the single most important maintenance for CVT longevity. Use only genuine Subaru CVT fluid or Idemitsu equivalent. Universal CVT fluids don't meet Subaru's friction requirements. Do simple drain and fill, never high-pressure flush. Flushing can damage CVT belt and pulley surfaces. Avoid aggressive driving, hard acceleration, and excessive towing. CVTs aren't designed for performance driving or heavy loads. Let the transmission warm up before driving hard. Cold CVT fluid doesn't protect components adequately. Cost comparison: $150 to $200 for fluid change every 30,000 miles versus $4,500 to $6,000 for CVT replacement. The math is simple, and the preventive maintenance is easy. Failure number 3. Oil consumption on FB engines. The 2011 to 2015, Forester, and 2013 to 2015 Impreza with FB engines are notorious for oil consumption. I've seen these engines burn a quart every 1,000 to 2,000 miles. Owners add oil constantly and don't understand why. Why it happens? Piston ring design in early FB engines wasn't optimal. The rings don't seal properly against cylinder walls. Excessive crankcase pressure from failed PCV systems makes it worse. Pressure forces oil past the already weak piston rings. Carbon deposits form on piston rings and valves. This prevents proper sealing and increases oil burning. Extended oil change intervals accelerate the problem. Dirty oil forms sludge that clogs oil control rings. How to spot it developing: oil level dropping more than halfway between changes. Check your dipstick every 1,000 miles to monitor consumption. Blue smoke from exhaust on startup or during acceleration. This is oil burning in the combustion chambers. Spark plugs fouled with oil when inspected. Oil-covered plugs indicate serious consumption issues. How to minimize oil consumption. Change oil every 3,500 to 4,000 miles with full synthetic. Clean oil prevents ring deposits and reduces consumption. Service the PCV system every 60,000 miles. Replace valve, hoses, and clean the oil separator. Use slightly thicker oil like 5W-30 instead of 0W-20. Thicker oil seals better around worn rings. Add oil consumption additives like Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. These can reduce consumption by 30 to 50% in some cases. Document consumption carefully if still under warranty. Subaru extended warranty coverage for excessive oil consumption. You need detailed records showing consumption patterns. Cost: $60 for oil changes versus $3,000 to $5,000 for internal engine work to fix consumption. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. Failure number 4. Wheel bearing noise and failure. Wheel bearings on Subarus generally last well, but failures do occur. When they fail, the noise is unmistakable and concerning. Why it happens? A WD system puts constant load on all 4 wheel bearings. This is more stress than 2 WD vehicles experience. Driving through deep water or snow can contaminate sealed bearings. Water forces past seals and washes out bearing grease. Aggressive driving through potholes damages bearing races. Hard impacts create pitting in the bearing surfaces. Aftermarket wheels with incorrect offset change suspension geometry. This alters load distribution and accelerates bearing wear. How to spot failing bearings. Humming or growling noise that changes with vehicle speed. The noise gets louder during turns in one direction. Vibration through the steering wheel or seat. Failed bearings create imbalance and vibration. ABS or traction control warning lights illuminate. Wheel speed sensors are affected by bearing play. Visible play when checking wheels while vehicle is lifted. Grab tire at 12 and 6 o'clock positions and rock it. How to prevent premature bearing failure. Avoid driving through deep water when possible. If unavoidable, have bearings inspected afterward. Drive carefully over potholes and road damage. Hard impacts are the primary cause of bearing damage. Use wheels with correct offset specifications. Aftermarket wheels should match OEM offset exactly. Have bearings inspected during brake service. Mechanics can check for play during routine work. Replace bearings at first sign of noise. Continuing to drive accelerates damage and increases repair cost. Cost: $200 to $350 per wheel for bearing replacement versus $600 to $900 if you wait until complete failure damages other components. Failure number 5. Timing belt. Failure on non-chain engines. Timing belt failure is catastrophic on Subaru engines. These are interference engines where pistons hit valves if the belt breaks. I've seen multiple engines destroyed from neglected timing belts. Why it happens? Timing belts are made of rubber that deteriorates with age and mileage. Heat, oil contamination, and tension stress the belt. Owners skip replacement thinking they can stretch the interval. Many don't even know their engine has a timing belt. Subaru's 105,000-mile recommendation gives false confidence. Belts often fail before reaching this mileage in harsh conditions. How to spot problems before failure. Squealing noise from the timing belt area during startup indicates belt glazing or misalignment on pulleys. Oil leaks near the timing belt cover. Oil contamination destroys timing belt rubber rapidly. Visible cracks on the belt if you inspect it. Requires removing covers, but shows belt condition clearly. Age of belt exceeding 10 years, regardless of mileage. Rubber deteriorates from age even on low-mileage vehicles. How to prevent timing. Belt failure. Replace timing belt every 100,000 miles or 10 years maximum. Don't wait for the 105,000-mile interval. Do the complete service, not just the belt. Include water pump, tensioner, idler pulleys, and seals. The water pump is driven by the timing belt and often fails shortly after belt replacement. Doing everything together prevents paying labor costs twice. Address any oil leaks immediately. Oil destroys timing belt rubber within months. Inspect belt condition every 50,000 miles visually. This catches deterioration before catastrophic failure. Cost: $900 to $1,200 for complete timing belt service versus $5,000 to $8,000 for engine replacement after belt breaks. Failure number 6. Turbocharger. Failure on turbocharged models. WRX, STI, and turbocharged Forester/Outback models experience turbo failures. These failures are almost always maintenance-related, not design flaws. Why it happens? Inadequate oil changes stress turbo bearings. Turbos spin at 100,000 plus RPM and need clean oil constantly. Dirty oil causes bearing wear and eventual failure. Shutting off hot engines immediately after hard driving. This stops oil flow while the turbo is still extremely hot. Heat soak damages bearings and seals. Oil contamination in the intake from failed PCV systems. Oil fouls the turbo compressor wheel and inlet. Using incorrect oil viscosity for turbocharged engines. Thinner oil doesn't protect turbo bearings adequately under extreme heat. How to spot turbo problems. Whistling or whining noise that increases with boost. Indicates bearing wear or damaged compressor wheel. Blue or white smoke from exhaust under acceleration. Oil burning through damaged turbo seals. Loss of power and boost pressure. Check engine light with boost pressure codes. Oil consumption suddenly increases. Failed turbo seals allow oil into exhaust system. How to prevent turbo failure. Change oil every 3,500 miles maximum with full synthetic. Turbocharged engines need more frequent changes than naturally aspirated. Let engine idle 30 to 60 seconds before shutting off after hard driving. This allows turbo to cool while oil still circulates. Service PCV system every 60,000 miles. Prevents oil contamination in turbo inlet. Use 5W30 oil instead of 0W20 on turbocharged models. Provides better protection for turbo bearings. Install oil catch can to prevent oil vapor buildup. Keeps intake and turbo compressor clean. Cost: $80 per oil change and $200 for catch can versus $2,500 to $4,000 for turbo replacement. Failure number 7. Rear main seal oil leaks. Rear main seal leaks are common on higher mileage Subarus. Oil drips from between the engine and transmission. These leaks start small but worsen over time. Why it happens? Excessive crankcase pressure from failed PCV systems. Pressure forces oil past the rear seal. Age and heat cause seal material to harden and crack. Normal wear over 100,000 plus miles. Improper installation during previous engine work. Damaged seals leak immediately. Oil contamination from extended oil change intervals. Dirty oil accelerates seal deterioration. How to spot rear main seal leaks. Oil spots on your driveway or parking spot. Fresh oil directly under the center of the engine. Oil visible on the transmission bell housing. Climb under the car and inspect with a flashlight. Oil consumption without visible leaks elsewhere. The seal leaks internally before dripping externally. Burning oil smell when driving. Leaking oil contacts the hot exhaust system. How to prevent or delay rear main seal leaks. Maintain PCV system properly every 60,000 miles. Reducing crankcase pressure is the primary prevention. Change oil regularly with quality synthetic. Clean oil doesn't attack seal materials. Address any oil leaks promptly. Leaks indicate pressure problems that stress all seals. Use rear main seal conditioner additives. Products like Lucas Oil Stabilizer can extend seal life. Monitor for early signs and repair before it worsens. Small leaks are easier and cheaper to fix. Cost: $800 to $1,200 for rear main seal replacement versus $200 for preventive PCV maintenance that prevents the leak. How to avoid all 7 failures. The common thread through all these failures is maintenance. Proper, consistent maintenance prevents every single issue on this list. Your prevention strategy: oil changes every 3,500 to 4,000 miles with full synthetic. This prevents oil consumption, turbo failure, and seal leaks. CVT fluid service every 30,000 miles. Prevents the most expensive transmission failure. Coolant replacement every 30,000 miles or 3 years. Protects head gaskets and extends engine life. PCV system service every 60,000 miles. Prevents oil consumption, seal leaks, and carbon buildup. Timing belt service every 100,000 miles or 10 years. Prevents catastrophic engine destruction. Wheel bearing inspection during all brake services. Catches problems before they become expensive. Turbo cool-down procedure after every spirited drive. Extends turbo life significantly at zero cost. The reality is, Subarus are reliable vehicles when properly maintained. These 7 failures only happen when maintenance is neglected or incorrect. Follow this prevention strategy, and your Subaru will serve you well for 200,000 to 300,000 miles. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.